The Queen's enjoyed a royal reunion, meeting up with William and Kate's family for the first time since lockdown. Royal editor Russell Myers joins us now. Well, that was nice, isn't it?
Very nice.
It's been a long time.
I know,
so.
for everybody.
Yeah.
For all the, the royals, I can always say they're just like us, they can't meet up with their families. But yeah, it was a big reunion at the weekend. The Cambridges went up to Balmoral. Been a few visitors over the last few weeks. Princess Anne was up there, Sophie and Edward were up there, but the Cambridge family just went up there, and I imagine they're going to be coming back down to London sometime soon, because obviously the kids are going back to school. But it is all changing, and this, the Queen sort of has gone up to Balmoral. They've got a little Balmoral bubble like she had at Windsor Castle. And one of the big developments actually is she won't be returning to Buckingham Palace anytime soon. There's a bit of a sort of rumours whether she would stay at Windsor Castle, and it seems as though that is going to be the case. It kind of makes sense because she can travel into London while staying in the Windsor Castle bubble, and she's got exactly the same setup in Balmoral.
But that's the longest time she's been away from
It is, yeah.
Gosh,
I mean, it's gone on for months and months, and there was talk of, would the Queen ever return to Buckingham Palace? But one of the big things here is that the Queen does want to get back to normal. She wants to, I mean, the new normal, I hate that phrase, but it is a new normal, especially for them, and sort of the workings of how she wants to sort of play it out over the next few months. Now, the people I've been speaking to are trying to organise her diary over the sort of next coming months, sort of maybe looking at a few engagements in the autumn. But one of the big things is she certainly doesn't want to miss Remembrance Day, and that's in November, and she's never missed the great occasion at the Cenotaph, remembering our war dead, and certainly this year will be no different, hopefully.
Yeah. So, I mean, I often wonder what those reunions must be like with William and Kate and the children and everything else. Is she like a proper granny?
Well, apparently she is. I mean, this is, Philip likes to do the barbecue, she likes to pour the tea from the china cups and stuff, so it is kind of just a family reunion. It's sort of a day off, really, a sort of weekend off, they all get together and play happy families.
Very nice, yeah. I like that. Absent from Balmoral, of course, Meghan and Harry. And I guess, I mean, they can't really get back that easily, even if they wanted to at this point.
No, they can't at the moment. I think one of the things that Harry popped up over the weekend, and he was speaking to some rugby league guys. Obviously, he's the patron of the rugby league, and we've got a World Cup coming up next year. And he was talking about his time in America, actually, and saying how much they're enjoying it and stuff. And obviously, they can't come over at the moment because they just moved house. But one of the things he was talking about with rugby league, saying about how he was enjoying America, also saying he couldn't find Archie a rugby ball, and this was probably one of his biggest trials and tribulations at the moment. I think we got a little sort of what he was going to say.
We got a whole Rugby World Cup coming, Rugby League World Cup in next year, so I definitely plan on coming back. I would have been back already had it not been for COVID. So congratulations on 125 years. You must be all incredibly proud.
I mean, does he not have Amazon?
I mean, or at least a friend somewhere that can post it.
Exactly.
There must be someone
I mean, there's a couple
somewhere.
of little porkies going on there. Couldn't come back to see his granny, and can't find a rugby ball. It is a bit strange.
No.
I do think we will see them back here sometime next year. Maybe not for Christmas. I think they've just moved into this big, £11 million beautiful place in Montecito in California, and the weather's probably a little bit better over the winter.
Sure it is. Well, we're remembering Princess Diana today, which, gosh, it's incredible, actually.
It is indeed. It's, 23 years, actually. It's the anniversary of her death, and there's a big play over the weekend. A lot of the reports about the boys actually coming together, and this is actually quite sweet, I think, because there's been a lot made about the rift between them over the last few months and how they've had a big, spectacular falling out. Now, one of the things that we can look forward to is that they've been trying to finalise the details of a statue in her honour, and they actually came up with this about 3 years ago, and it's taken this amount of time to get to this stage. Now, they are trying to finalise the details of what it will look like. COVID's had, obviously, a bit of a play in that as well. But I understand that it will be unveiled on the 1st of July next year, which will be her 60th birthday. So I think that is a bit of good news with the brothers, that they're coming together, trying to get this done. It will be unveiled at Kensington Palace, and that could be the first time we see them back together.
I think fans of the royals, and particularly the brothers, would love that.
They
I
would
really
do,
do think that would be a defining moment, seeing them back together, particularly something to do with their mum. I think that would mean a lot to people.
Well, it is, and she has this. Royal fans around the world love Diana still. I mean, you'll probably see people outside Kensington Palace today laying flowers and sort of having a moment of quiet and to remember her. And the fact that she's doing this sort of beyond the grave to bring them back together, I think is very, very poignant indeed. I think Harry and Meghan will probably spend a little bit of time in the UK next year. You've got Harry's and Victor's Games, you've got the Trooping the Colour, and then you'll probably have this in July. But, you know, it could be the first time we see the sort of so-called Fab Four back together. Hopefully we'll see them before then, but that will be a date to ink in your diary.
It's definitely a date, isn't it? Lots of new opportunities sort of bandied around constantly about what's going to happen for Harry and Meghan. And,
yeah, indeed.
Obviously, the world is their oyster, really.
It is. And there's reports over the weekend that they're being signed to a 7-figure deal with the, you know, the podcast giant Spotify. Now, one of these things is that, you know, they've obviously got to earn a lot of money. They've just bought this new house. They've got to pay off the Frogmore cottage. And, you know, COVID put a paid to a lot of their plans. They were going to launch themselves into the stratosphere with a new charity. But this thing may have legs, actually. It's, you know, Spotify is a huge giant, 120 million subscribers every month. And they still have a star quality. They still talk about mental health, women's rights, girls' education. We've seen Meghan speaking quite eloquently over the last few weeks about all these things. And I think there is a gap in the market. They've got a lot of loyal fans. And Michelle Obama's just been signed up to the platform. Good friends of Meghan as well. So it could be one to look out for.
It could be something. And Kate's lockdown photography competition has also been a huge success.
It has been.
Got inundated with pictures from all over the country.
Yeah, this is one of my favourite stories of the year, actually, because we all went into lockdown talking about how we were all sort of adapting with our new lives. And Kate is actually patron of the National Portrait Gallery. She came up with this idea to try and create a catalogue, a sort of historical version of what lives we've been living. And she wanted, she called it Hold Still. And she thought she'd get a few thousand people entering, and she got 31,000 submissions over it. And over the weekend, she was choosing her favourites and talking about how she'd been on a roller coaster of emotions, looking through all the thousands of images. We've got some of them here. It's one of the nurses sort of eating on her lunch break, people spending time in their gardens. And I think when you look back on it, this catalogue that she's created will be something to really cherish. Actually.
Yeah. The timing of it was just, it turned out actually to be really poignant.
Absolutely.
Then,
so that's going to be National Portrait Gallery is having a virtual exhibition from the September 14th, and hopefully, with all things being normal, it's going to go on a bit of a road show around the country, towns and cities, maybe one near you. So something to look out for.
Great stuff. Thank you so much, Russell, as always. Thank you.
Don't forget, you can watch full episodes of Lorraine on the ITV Hub and all the best clips, compilations and playlists right here on our channel. Just subscribe now and you'll never miss an upload. Click here to watch another video similar to this one, or click here to head to our channel's homepage to explore all of our exciting videos.